Today's video, we're going to talk about shopping campaigns and how the low, medium, and high priority settings on the shopping campaigns itself, standard shopping campaigns, and where people have been using a 3 campaign setup and having the priority settings set on each one to high, medium, and low, how that actually gets results or doesn't get results, that is, and how you can actually make the most money from it if you decide to use it, as well as whether PMAX campaigns are a better bet. I'm going to talk about all of the above in today's video, so that just like the title of this video says, do the 3 shopping campaign setups, each one with a different priority setting in the campaign settings menu. Can that actually make decent money in general? I've seen people get decent results with this. That said, generally speaking, 99% of the time, you're going to get better results with the PMAX campaign than a standard shopping campaign with or without using this tri-campaign setup. And the reason for that is because the machine learning capabilities that Google has built in within PMAX is able to just find customers better than what a standard shopping campaign has. That is, unless you are in certain industries or niches where you need to be more precise about things, and the machine learning that Google has is going to take too long to figure out where the meat is in your space where customers actually lie. I'm going to talk about what those industries are and give you a couple of examples, and then like what you can make with these type of campaign structures compared to PMAX as well as standalone by itself, with a couple of examples of clients where we used this type of setup before. I'm Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a PPC agency that guarantees results for their clients, more profitability on your ads, or no fee. We're the only agency in the world that offers any contingency offer like this. Are able to do it because I work directly with our clients at our firm and have been doing ads for 20 years, 10 of which just at our firm by itself. So the information I share with you here on today's video is coming from somebody who has done more ads, manages more ads than anybody else that you're going to find on YouTube and as well as online in general, to give you the valuable advice I'm giving you here on today's video. With that said, I'm going to go through how to set these campaigns up, why you would use a shopping campaign setup to get the most results out of ads. And then by the end of the video, if you stay to the end of the video, I will go over some different markets where we use this campaign setup, what the results were, and so you can see what kind of return you can get with this as well. Define what this campaign setup is. Okay, I touched on this at the start of the video already. This is specifically where you use, instead of just one shopping campaign in your account, you use a combination of 3 shopping campaigns, of which one in the campaign settings is marked to high priority, one is marked to medium priority, one's marked to low priority. And with that, in addition, what you need to do is you're going to add a series of negative keywords, the different campaigns, to kind of like silo out what keywords that people search in your market will trigger which campaign, if you will. So that, and there's actually multiple reasons why you would do this, but it can be meant to weed out brand searches that you do not want triggering your ads, or it can be meant to weed out people who don't even use brand searches, and you're not price competitive enough to make those auctions work, to make those searches work. You just want to show up for your brand searches, and you can actually control that with this kind of a structure here. We had a women's clothing brand. What we did there, just to give you one example of a common implementation of why you would use this, the clothing brand is a manufacturer of women's clothing. We had it where we had high priority on the brand searches itself, medium on branded products, so people looking for a specific product made by them, not people typing in the brand name itself. And then finally, people who did not use any version of that brand name in the search, caught by this low priority campaign. Knowing that we had to get a fairly high ROI for this campaign, we want basically Google to look at what it is the search is, and try to, if it's a brand search, for sure show our ad and have a different ROI target, if you will, for this campaign as well. We got a different ROI target for this campaign, and a different ROI target for this campaign. Because we know the brand searches itself convert at a high rate, we can demand a higher ROI for this campaign than we can for the searches that don't have the brand name in it at all. And if you demand a high return on the non-brand searches, then you're just not going to get any searches. And the only thing that's going to trigger your ad is the brand searches. More than anything else, it can make sure you have basically a brand campaign, a semi-brand campaign, that is, they use a brand, you're selling an item with a brand name in it somewhere, and a non-brand campaign, and you have different budgets for each and different ROI targets for each. Your staple brand searches, you max that out essentially as much as you can, while the non-brand searches, you try to slowly ramp that up. If you know anything about MER ratio, one thing that you do as an e-commerce company in order to scale your ads the easiest way, what you do as a business owner is you find out what's that ratio of total sales at your company to total ad spend that you're happy with, and then you try to slowly ramp up your ad spend if you're at that ratio already, that is, and get your sales to go up enough to maintain that ratio. So if you need $5 in sales revenue at your company to every dollar you spend on ads, what you're going to do, if you spend $100,000 a month on ads now, you're going to go to $110,000, and you're going to shoot for, instead of $500,000 a month in sales, you're going to shoot for $550,000. You're going to do everything you can on that new budget to get the sales to go to $550. When you hit $550, you're going to go up and budget another 10 or 15%, and you're going to keep doing that again and again and again. And so as you do that, because the reason why you do that, by the way, is because the tracking that Google has is not so precise. It's only going to pick up usually between 1/3 and 2/3 of the purchases you get. So therefore, it allows you to have a better feel if you're getting your return on investment that you're looking for. That, and a lot of times you have to wait for customers to come back and make their second and third and fourth purchase to see the return on investment come in off of your initial investment to get them through Google in the first place. What it allows you to do is, the low-hanging fruit, max that out while slowly ramping up the non-low-hanging fruit. Basically, because if you have everything grouped into one campaign, either the brand searches can hog everything, or you can ultimately not have, your ads not show up for non-brand searches, knowing that non-brand searches, you need some more runway to get it to work, but you don't have very good control over it because it's all mixed together, basically. With that said, we had a company that sold those elderly care supplies, motor scooters, stuff like that people ride around on, and stuff like items like this. Also items like lift chairs where, you can't get out of a chair very easily, and have motorized chairs that'll move up, stuff like that elderly people will buy. What we did there, so in that market, there's people who are going to search for the brand name of a company on Google, and then there's shopping ads that show up, and if they show up, we want to have a campaign, get every last person we can there because it's somebody coming back to the site to buy, most likely. Then we also have people searching for the motorized scooters by brand name. Rascal 2817. Those are very profitable searches if we sell that brand of item. Why? Because they already know what they want and they're just doing last minute price comparison. So we want to be able to spend as much money as we can there, or at least before people are searching for motor scooters and the like, generic searches that are higher up in the sales funnel, if you will. People who search for motor scooters, a good portion of them are never going to buy. The people that search for a specific scooter, a much higher percentage of those people are going to buy. It's just a matter of who, basically, at that point in time. So you naturally want to be able to max out. If you have $100,000 a month to spend today, you want to spend as much of that as you can on the people who are more likely to buy than stuff that less likely to buy. And so what you can do is you can have this low priority campaign have negative keywords in it that has all the brand of different motor scooters in it, so that this will not fire, rather this one will fire if they're making a product level search like that. And then if they type in our company name itself, we'll have that picked up by the top campaign, but this top campaign will have the product searches in it, the brand name of the product itself that we're carrying, because it's a distributor or it's a retail store that sells these items. They don't manufacture them. And then have those as negative keywords on the top level campaign, so that if they search for those branded items, it also won't be triggered by the top level campaign either, if you will. With that, if you will, you have, depending on what category of search it is, whether it's a brand that's searching for us by brand name, or for an item that we sell that is an in-house branded item that we do actually sell it. Like a grocery store, you can buy a house brand, and then there's the other item. Like there's Oreo, then there's the house brand. Well, if they're searching for a house brand or they're searching for us as a whole, we want them to fire up with one campaign. If they search for, something like the Oreo cookies, if you will, that we don't sell, but they're searching for a specific item, we'll have this campaign fire. And if they're not searching for like cookies, we're going to fire on this campaign. And we're going to devote an unlimited budget to people that are searching for our brand name because it's going to convert at the highest rate possible. Then if we have any budget left over, we're going to spend it on the product level searches where they type in the specific product that they're looking for. And then if we have any budget left over, we're going to spend it on this campaign where they're just searching for the cookies by itself. To not have any budget towards this, but spend 5% of our overall budget on the people searching for cookies by itself, knowing that it's not going to be profitable, but we want to invest into it. So eventually when we can't get any more out of these two top campaigns, we'll have something that's finally come around in terms of the ROI that we can use to continue to scale. Use case that we actually set this try campaign setup before and where it would make sense to do it. Okay, in the long run, PMax is still going to get the most profit because of the additional machine learning that looks at all the things that searchers do before they make a search and all the websites that they visit, and then know the basic probability of somebody becoming a customer that searches for motor scooters over another person, because Google in their system is going to look at somebody who searches for motor scooter. There's 5,000 different unique people that search for that keyword. And it's going to find what part of that keyword traffic that converts well and converts for you and doesn't convert. And if using PMax, it's going to look at all the stuff that people have done before they made that search to identify, are they likely to buy from you or not? And if they're not show your ad. And if they are very likely, they're going to charge you a little bit more per click, but they're going to make sure you show, and that's going to get you an overall, more sales at the ROI that you're looking for than you could otherwise just showing up and looking at the keyword by itself individually, if you will, and not look at all the information on the user level to decide if that your ad should show up for that person or not show up for that person. That's why PMax will generally make you more money than the standard shopping campaigns will. But like I said, sometimes for campaigns where the long tail keywords are the only thing that works, the person typing in, let's say for a printer toner seller, we had in that market, there's people searching for printer toner, there's people looking for Canon printer toner, there's people looking for Canon XRJ12 printer toner. So there's like 3 levels there, Of these different levels, we can have 3 different campaigns set up here and try to silo it out, understanding that if they're just typing in printer toner, this is way less profitable and harder to get to work than somebody typing in, Canon printer toner and then on top of that, Canon XRJ12 printer toner. And we want to spend all our money for people looking for a specific model of printer toner versus somebody just looking for Canon printer toner because, they may not even know their printer model that they need the toner for and therefore abandon their shopping, if you will. If you're in a market where they have to make a very, very specific search in order to convert, standard shopping isn't going to be the one that's going to make you the most money. And even then, you're still going to make more money with PMax if you give it enough time for the machine learning to really get going. The standard shopping just makes more sense short term because you have to, when they have to make a very specific search to convert well and to get a decent ROI, it can get it narrowed down to the long tail searches much faster because you can go ahead and look at the actual search terms data and start adding tons of negative keywords right away and get it weeded down to what you need to have right away, if that makes sense. So, but with the 3 campaign setup, I actually don't hardly ever use this because the PMax is still going to get better results anyway, like I said. In a rare instance where we know they have to make a very specific search, we'll use standard shopping. And in that case, if there's different categories of searches that perform very differently than one another, we can go with a multi-standard shopping campaign setup to target those different levels of searches. If not, different shopping campaigns for different categories of items that we're selling, if we sell very different items from one another. But anyway, that goes over like a basic idea of these. If you were wondering, like you've heard, because the reason why I made this video is because still to this day, very common that people talk about this 3 shopping campaign setup. For all practical purposes, where it can actually make sense and where you would want to use it and why you would want to use it and where else you wouldn't want to use it because it's not really going to help you out do what you want to do. Or not sure whether this is going to be the right setup for you, you can reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, we do not charge clients fees until we can get you a certain minimum amount of profitability from your ads up front. If you want to see if we can do that for you, we don't work with just any client, but if you want to see, you can certainly reach out to me at my site there and I'll have a conversation with you about it. If we've worked in your niche market before, we could sell you the ad templates, the landing page templates, all of it that work for your niche market for a different client that we have in a different city or different country. A lot of you guys want to manage your own ads, and that's the perfect solution for you to be able to work with us in a way that's going to make you a lot more money and a lot sooner. That is, you're going to use the winning ads that we've already developed for a client that has paid us for active services, and you're going to copy paste exactly what we found works the best in your market directly into your ad account and get all those results right away. That many times we've spent years to figure out how to get the results that you would get with our template. Ultimately, we sell those templates for a one-time fee. These templates work so well, we got people that start whole other businesses off of it. If you want to have a business on training wheels, start with a template to sell a known item that we know sells well, and go source that item and use the template, and you can make that work, basically relatively easy and relatively quickly. But with that, if you're wondering also, if you just have a quick question, you can also obviously leave me a comment in the comment section. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours or a relatively short period of time. That is standard shopping as a whole, how useful it is, where it's specifically still useful, and where you would want to have more than one shopping campaign in reality. And these guys that are using the high, medium, low priority setup, most of everybody using that, why they're using it, and how they're actually using it in general. In the scenario where you're trying to scale your ads, like I said before, it can help you place the budget to what's most effective in your market first. As you get further and further into the scaling process, you can put a higher and higher percentage of the budget into the category of search that's the hardest to get working, but you've had more time now to actually optimize it. So that's the big lesson out of all of this that I could convey to you here and why you actually use it. Depending on how much budget you have to spend at any given time, one campaign over another will get a higher and higher percentage of the budget, whereas at the beginning, one campaign can get 80% of the budget, and then later on it's 70, but the others are now getting 30 and so forth. If you want to know how to run the perfect shopping campaign and how to optimize your campaign for the maximum amount of profit you can make in terms of the image testing and optimization and techniques there that we found that works, in terms of the pricing testing, title testing, we've done all that. You should go to my channel homepage and search for shopping optimization strategies on my channel homepage in the search bar. But in general, beyond that, all the stuff that I find works as well as doesn't work with shopping, I give to you for free on this channel as I find out about it. So if you want to really know how to make millions of dollars running ads, shopping ads and the like for yourself and for your business, you should subscribe to this channel as I give you all that information totally for free on this channel. And it comes from somebody who's actually doing it. Most of the bozos, that have YouTube channels here and talk about running ads on YouTube don't actually run any ads, or they run a couple ads. They really do not know. They're not qualified to give you information. It just sounds really good. The editing's good, but the information is whack, basically. You don't want to pay too much attention to it. So if you're going to pay attention to anybody, you want to pay attention to this at the very least. You should also check my blog out at guaranteeppc.com/blog, where you can find other information from myself about how to execute strategies that will guarantee your results, that we use to guarantee results for our clients at our advertising firm, with step-by-step instructions, with screenshots, everything you need to execute those strategies for yourself. With that said, I'm going to pretty much wrap it up with that. PMAX still, like I said, 95% of the time is going to be your best way. Specifically, something called a feed-only PMAX setup, where you don't have any descriptions or images or anything. That's going to get you the best results. You start out with that. If you're in selling printer toner or specific products where you're reselling for major brands, that's the type of time. If you're not getting results fast enough with PMAX, I would still start out with PMAX. You could switch to a standard shopping setup with this 3-tiered setup and use that as a platform to scale up, even though eventually PMAX should still win the day. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you for watching.
Remember when I said shopping campaigns was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.